What if I told you that disappearing is one of the most powerful moves you can make in a woman's mind? That the moment you stop chasing, stop texting, and completely remove yourself, she starts thinking about you more than ever before. Sounds crazy, right? But here's the truth. The human mind is wired to crave what it can't have. And when you vanish, you trigger something deep inside her. Psychology, curiosity, anxiety, and even obsession. Most men make the mistake of constantly trying to prove their worth. They text first, they double-check if she's interested, and they try to stay relevant in her life. But guess what? That's the fastest way to become invisible to her. When you're always available, always present, and always trying to maintain her attention, she takes you for granted, she assumes she has you whenever she wants, but the moment you pull back, that's when the real game begins. Women don't react to absence the way men do. When a man loses interest, he moves on. But a woman, she starts questioning herself. She wonders if she misread the situation. She replays your interactions in her mind, trying to decode why you're not chasing her like every other guy. And the more time that passes, the stronger these thoughts become. This video will break down exactly what happens in her mind, day by day when you disappear. We're going deep into the psychology of scarcity, uncertainty, and emotional triggers that make her crave you more than ever before. Whether she's your ex, someone you just started talking to, or even a woman who was once lukewarm about you. Understanding this process will give you an upper hand in any situation. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why your absence is more powerful than your presence, and how to use this knowledge to your advantage without manipulation, without desperation, and without playing games. Now let's break this down step by step. Day 1, she doesn't care. Yet, let's be real. On the first day you disappear, she's not panicking. In fact, she might not even notice. Women are used to attention from men, and if you stop reaching out, she assumes you're just busy or playing hard to get. At this stage, she feels no emotional loss. If she was lukewarm about you, she might even welcome the space. But here's where most men go wrong. They expect an instant reaction. They think, if I stop texting, she'll notice immediately. Wrong. Women don't react to silence the way men do. A guy might take it as a direct rejection, but a woman, she assumes she's still in control. She still thinks she has you when she wants you. Now let's say you were texting her daily, always available, always quick to reply. If you suddenly stop, she'll register the change, but she won't care yet. She'll just assume you'll be back. At this point, there's no urgency, no emotional trigger, no sense of loss. Imagine this. You're at a restaurant, and the waiter keeps refilling your water glass every time you take a sip. You never think about being thirsty because it's always there, but the moment the refills stop and your glass is empty, you suddenly start wanting more water. That's exactly how a woman's mind works when you disappear. Right now, her glass is still full. She has no reason to feel anything. She assumes you'll come back like every other guy who plays the waiting game, but eventually gives in. But the moment she realizes you're actually gone, that's when the shift begins. And that brings us to day 2-3, where she starts to notice. Day 2-3. Wait, where did he go? Now, this is where things start to get interesting. By the second or third day, she notices your absence, but she won't admit it, not even to herself. At first, it's just a passing thought. He hasn't texted me today, but she quickly shrugs it off. After all, men disappear all the time and most of them come crawling back. But here's where psychology kicks in. She's used to predicting your behavior if you were always texting, checking in, or reacting to her social media. She expected that pattern to continue. Now that you've stopped, you just became unpredictable. And unpredictability triggers curiosity. She might even do little tests without realizing it. She'll post something online, maybe a selfie or a cryptic quote, just to see if you react. If she runs into you or sees you active somewhere, she'll pay extra attention to whether you acknowledge her or not. The moment she feels like you're actually disengaging something, shifts in her mind. Think of it like this: I ever lost your keys? At first you don't worry because you assume they're around somewhere, but the longer you can't find them, the more you start retracing your steps, checking places you know they're not, and overanalyzing every moment leading up to when they went missing. That's exactly what happens in her head when she realizes you're not acting like every other guy. By the end of day 3, the first seed of doubt is planted. Did I misread him? Is he losing interest? But here's the key: she still won't reach out. Why? Because her ego won't let her. She expects you to break first. And that's where day 4-5 come in, when she actually starts checking her phone on purpose. Day 4-5, she starts checking her phone. Now she's officially paying attention. At this stage, she's no longer just noticing your absence, she's feeling it. And the funniest part, she won't admit it. Not to herself, not to her friends, and definitely not to you. But here's the truth. By day 4 or 5, she's checking her phone more than usual. Not necessarily for you, but just in general. Every time she picks it up, there's a small part of her that wonders if you've reached out. And when she doesn't see your name, that's when the tiny sting of disappointment kicks in. This is where it gets frustrating for her. She was expecting you to cave. She thought you were just another guy playing hard to get. For a few days before giving in, but now it's different. You're not following the script she expected. She might start scrolling through old conversations, rereading your last messages, or even checking when you were last online. Not because she's obsessed yet, but because she wants confirmation. Confirmation that you're still interested, that you're still thinking about her, that she still has the upper hand. At this point, a shift happens. Instead of assuming she has you, she starts questioning whether she had you at all. And that little crack in her confidence, that's what makes her start thinking about you more and more. Now, she won't reach out just yet. She still has her pride, but she'll start looking for signs. Maybe you liking another girl's post, maybe you hanging out with friends, maybe a random status update, anything that lets her know where your head is at. And if she doesn't see it, that's when the real frustration begins. By the time we hit day 6-7, it's no longer just curiosity, it's confusion. And confusion is where emotions start taking over logic. Day 6-7. The confusion kicks in. Now she's starting to feel it. The silence is no longer just noticeable. It's bothering her. And here's the truth. Most men don't realize. Women don't like not knowing. It's not even about missing you yet. It's about losing control of the situation. By now, she expected something from you. A reaction, a slip-up, even a like on one of her posts, but you've done nothing. And that's messing with her mind. This is when she starts thinking things she wouldn't normally think. Did he really just disappear? Is he talking to someone else? Was I not as important as I thought? But here's where most men screw up. They get impatient. They think, okay, it's been almost a week. She must be thinking about me. Maybe I should check in just to keep her interested. And the second you do, you throw away everything you just built. Wake up. The whole point of disappearing is to create mystery, to make her wonder, to shift the power dynamic. The moment you break and reach out, she wins. She gets the confirmation she needed. Oh, he was just playing a game. He still wants me. And just like that, she stops thinking about you. This is why most guys fail with women. They lack patience. They're so afraid of losing her that they hand over their power. The second things get uncomfortable. But here's the thing, if she truly liked you, she won't forget you in a few days. So stay quiet, stay disciplined, let her sit in the confusion. Because once that uncertainty lingers long enough, it turns into something else. Fear that you're slipping away, fear that you're no longer interested, fear that she was wrong about you. And by day 8-10, that fear makes her assume something dangerous. You've moved on. Day 8-10, she starts to panic. At this point, she's not just confused, she's worried. Worried that you're actually gone and worried that you don't care. Worried that maybe she made a mistake by not appreciating you when she had the chance. And here's the crazy part. Nothing about you has changed. You haven't said a word. You haven't played mind games. You haven't even acknowledged her. Yet in her mind, you've suddenly become more valuable. Why? Because scarcity creates demand. Think about it. If something is always available, it's taken for granted. But the second it disappears, people start seeing its worth. That's exactly what's happening in her mind right now. You were once predictable, always there. Now you're a question mark. And that uncertainty is making you more desirable than ever. This is when she starts doing little things to get your attention without making it look like she's reaching out. She might post something indirect, maybe a song lyric, maybe a selfie with a cryptic caption. She might interact with one of your friends. She might even send a random accidental message just to gauge your response. But here's where you need to stay strong. The worst thing you can do right now is react. If you like her post, she wins. If you reply to her accidental message, she knows she's still in control. She wants a reaction, not a resolution. By now, she's feeling something. Men never expect a tiny sense of regret. And if you keep holding your ground, that regret will only grow. Because by day 11, 14, she starts wondering if she just lost you for good. Day 11, 14, she starts to doubt herself. Now the panic is settling in, but this time it's not just about you, it's about her. She starts replaying everything in her mind. Did I push him away? Was I not enough? Did he find someone else? And here's where things get really interesting. Her ego starts to take a hit. See, most women believe they hold the power in relationships. They assume men will always chase, always come back, always try to prove themselves. But you're breaking that pattern. You're showing her something she rarely experiences. Silence. And silence is powerful because now, instead of assuming you're waiting for her, she starts questioning her own worth. And when a woman starts doubting herself, that's when her emotions take control. This is the stage where she might start testing the waters. Maybe she asks a mutual friend about you. Maybe she suddenly views all your stories or randomly interacts with an old post. Maybe she even tries to act like she doesn't care, posting about how unbothered she is. But here's the truth. If she really didn't care, she wouldn't be thinking about you at all. The more she tries to convince herself that she's over it, the more obvious it becomes. She's not. And by day 15-17, that frustration turns into something deeper. She needs to know where she stands with you. Day 15-17. She feels the urge to reach out. At this stage, her emotions are getting the best of her. The silence is no longer just annoying, it's unbearable. See, in her mind, this wasn't supposed to happen. You were supposed to crack. You were supposed to send something. A simple text, a reaction, a sign that you still care. But instead, you've given her nothing, and that nothing is driving her crazy. Now she's feeling a strong urge to break the silence. But here's the thing. She doesn't want to look desperate. So instead of just texting you outright, she'll try subtle ways to get your attention. Maybe she posts a song that reminds her of you. Maybe she casually asks one of your friends how you're doing. Maybe she even sends a random message, something meaningless, just to see if you'll bite. But make no mistake, if she does any of this, she's thinking about you. And here's where most men mess up. They take the bait too soon. The moment they see her, small effort, they rush in, excited that she's showing interest again. They respond right away, acting like nothing happened. Big mistake. because she's not reaching out because she wants you back yet. She's reaching out because she wants relief. She wants to know she still has control. And the second you make it easy for her, you lose all the power you built. The smart move: do nothing. Keep ignoring her. Let her frustration build, because by day 18-20, that urge to reach out turns into something even more powerful. She starts fearing that she lost you for good. Day 18-20, she fears she lost you for good. This is where everything shifts. The confidence she once had gone, the belief that she had control, crushed. Now, the silence isn't just frustrating, it's scary, because up until now she was holding on to one assumption: he'll come back eventually, but you haven't. And that's when reality hits. Maybe, just maybe, she underestimated you. At this point, she starts questioning everything. Did he move on? Is he happier without me? Was I not as special as I thought? And the worst thought of all, is he with someone else? See, women don't just fear losing a man, they fear being replaced. The idea that you found another woman who excites you more, who doesn't play games, who earns your attention, that is what really haunts her. And because of that, she starts feeling something she never expected: regret. This is when you might notice her behavior shifting. She suddenly looks at your stories more often. She might even accidentally like an old post. She's searching for a sign that she still matters to you. But when she finds nothing, that regret deepens. And here's where men usually ruin everything. They mistake her regret for surrender. Just because she's feeling the loss doesn't mean she's ready to chase you yet. If you reach out now, you let her off the hook. You give her the reassurance she was craving. And just like that, she no longer needs to fight for you. But if you hold your ground, if you stay silent a little longer, that regret turns into something even more powerful: desperation. And by day 21-25, she's no longer just thinking about you, she's planning her next move. Day 21-25, she starts plotting her comeback. At this stage, she's no longer just wondering about you, she's strategizing. She's realized something that shakes her ego to the core. You are not the man she thought you were. See, in her mind, you were supposed to be predictable. You were supposed to want her no matter what. But your silence, your indifference that's breaking every expectation she had about you. And the scariest part, she's starting to believe she might never hear from you again. Now the game really begins. Instead of waiting, she starts thinking about ways to get you back. And no, she won't just text you outright. That would be too obvious. Instead, she'll try to indirectly make you notice her again. Maybe she posts a throwback picture from a time when you were around. Maybe she suddenly bumps into you at a place she knows you visit. Maybe she acts like she's so happy and completely unbothered just to see if you react. But here's the truth. If she didn't care, she wouldn't be doing any of this. She's not over you. She's just trying to test if you're over her. And this is where most men fail. They see these small moves and think, that's my chance, I should reach out now. Wrong, because she's not trying to come back. She's trying to see if she still has you. The real power move: keep ignoring her, let her doubt herself more, let her fear that she pushed you too far, because by day 26-30, she won't be playing games anymore. She'll be ready to chase. Day 26-30, she's ready to chase. At this point, she's not just thinking about you, she's feeling your absence in a way she never expected. For weeks, she believed she had control. She thought you'd fold, that you'd cave in and reach out first. But you didn't. And now she's running out of ways to cope with the silence. At first, she tried ignoring it. Then she tried convincing herself she didn't care. After that, she tested the waters, hoping you'd react, but nothing worked. And now she's realizing something she never thought possible. She's the one who has to work for your attention. This is where she starts making real moves. She texts you directly, but not just any message, something vague or casual. So she doesn't seem desperate. She suddenly misses something about you. Maybe she brings up an inside joke or reminds you of a good memory, hoping to trigger your emotions. She finds an excuse to see you. Maybe she needs help with something. Maybe she just randomly shows up where you are. She becomes noticeably more feminine, softer, and more interested in you. She wants you to see the version of her that you were once attracted to. At this point, her biggest fear isn't losing you. It's that she already has. Now, what do most men do? They get too excited and give in too easily. They see her effort and rush back, showering her with attention. And just like that, she feels safe again. The chase is over, she won. But the men who truly understand this game, they stay patient. They don't rush in the second she shows interest. They let her feel the weight of her choices. They make her prove that she's really ready to be in their life again. Because now, the tables have fully turned. She spent weeks assuming you needed her, but now she's realizing something far more painful. She needs you more than you ever needed her, and that's when she truly comes back. Here's the uncomfortable reality. Women don't miss men who are always available. They miss the men they feel they're losing. For too long, men have been conditioned to chase, to prove their worth, to fight for attention. But the moment you step back, the moment you stop convincing her to care, that's when she starts to truly value you. Disappearing isn't about playing games. It's about exposing the truth. If she really cared, she wouldn't let you go so easily. If she never cared, your absence wouldn't shake her at all. But if she starts panicking, plotting and chasing, that tells you everything you need to know. So now, let me ask you, have you ever pulled away and seen a woman suddenly act differently? Or have you made the mistake of reaching out too soon and regretted it? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. I read every single one and I'll be responding to as many as I can. Let's make this a conversation because, trust me, you're not the only one who's been through this.